How's it going, man?
It's going well. I've been chilling. Played a little basketball yesterday. I got a little bit of a lockjaw kind of a thing. My friend elbowed me in the jaw while we were
Oh,
playing.
really?
Yeah, we were playing basketball. So in a little bit of pain, but
Are you in California?
yeah, I'm in the Valley in LA.
I feel like it's the new LA, that the Valley lifestyle is like, because when I first went to LA, I moved here like 18 years ago. I didn't even know there was a Valley. Like, I was just like, oh, you just go to Hollywood and, the city.
Mm.
And then I ended up discovering the Valley and like, I've just like loved it ever since. But also, like, now I feel like it doesn't, it's like, it's cooler actually in the Valley. It's more chill.
It's so laid back compared to like the craziness that Hollywood is.
Yeah.
A lot better.
You can go to Hollywood and then you can go home and you're like out of it.
Exactly.
How long have you lived in LA?
I've lived in LA for about like 2 years now. I moved to Encino first, and then I moved to Hollywood, and then 6 months later, I moved right back to Encino.
So you came alone?
I have a bunch of friends that I knew in LA, and I just kind of moved into a crib with my friends.
I don't even know how I would do that. My brother, my twin brother, is like, and you met my older brother. We're like the three musketeers. Like, we're just like, when I moved here, I was like 23, and I couldn't imagine I'm moving here alone. Like, it was much different from
16 years old, I was couch surfing in LA.
that's
Believe it or
crazy.
not. Yeah.
So you just like no high school. You just came down here and started trying to make it.
I did 2 years of public school, and then I switched to online school, like to kind of pursue what I wanted to, and then like because I switched to online school, opened up my schedule all the time, and then like I could do school pretty much wherever, so I could like go to LA like whenever I needed to, and made everything happen really.
I know you're like big on TikTok, Instagram, all that, but like music was is like always your dream.
Yeah, it's always like kind of had a different feeling that you can't get with anything else, any other job, any other like thing. There's just something that's so like perfect about music that you really can't get from any other job.
I feel like you really represent the like new wave of young artists that are like actually showing, like, to me, like the modern artist is different because when we were back in the 90s when we started our band, there was no platforms, there was none of that. So if there was, we would have been on them too. We would have, I
Exactly.
probably would be the biggest motherfucker on TikTok if I was if I was starting now. But now it's just all out on the internet on all these different platforms. That's what you're doing. You're developing as an artist in front of everybody, which is good sometimes and bad sometimes. Obviously, I'm sure the but I always like watch it and I just kind of analyze it and go like, that's, to me, it's the same shit. It's just now digital.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's like such like a unique platform within social media that like allows you to kind of find your niche, find your people, and like and it won't be as hard. Like, say, if you found somebody that you thought was interesting or that you thought that was a really good guitarist, I could go and message them right away and be like, "Yo, would you like to join my band?" Done.
Want to write a song, want to get in the studio,
Exactly.
and you can literally record that shit in your room now.
Okay.
We used to
Love
have
it.
to find, we used to have to find studios and like some guy, right, runs this, that's his thing. He's like recording bands and making demos, or it's crazy how now you can, obviously we take advantage of it too. We have our studios are all pretty much all digital. I think we only have like one analog room. And that's just because we're romantic, or old, we're, nostalgic or whatever. But I think it's cool, man. That's cool. Congratulations, dude. Your new stuff is really great.
Thank you, bro. I have you heard any of the unreleased stuff yet?
Haven't heard the unreleased stuff yet.
I played it for your brother the other week when we were shooting for All Press. That was really good. He really liked it.
I love the wave of all the artists like you that are coming that are like making this like, you could say it's like in the world of pop punk or whatever, but it's just, to me, it's like this big pot that's a melting pot of all this different style. I think there's more freedom, and I think there's less boundaries now for people to, for artists like you to do whatever you feel whenever you feel like doing it, and that's total freedom.
One thing for me, I love a lot of the new generation and like what people are like kind of putting into what their description of what they think pop punk is today. I
Mhm.
I love being able to bring older artists into the newer generation or the new wave of pop punk, because I feel like there should have been more collaborations back in the early 2000s. I feel like everyone was like had their own band thing going on, but needed to like clash together and just fucking take over the world and rise up together. Um, and if they weren't down for it then maybe they're down for it now.
I agree with you. I think we were all down for it. It was just harder back then because everything was slower. So it was like getting in the studio wasn't as simple as sending a file and going like, yo, jump on and like do something here. It was like an actual undertaking to get everyone together. And again, like how you put your stuff into the world, you're fearless in where you do it. You're doing it on this platform, that platform, that you're going live, you're going there, you're going there. We just didn't have that vernacular. Like we didn't know how to do that.
I like that a lot of old bands that are coming back and kind of put their foot down and be like, yeah, I wanna show you guys that I can still do this shit like 10 years later. And I think now that the times are different and a little bit more opening, a lot more people are more welcome and like open to collaborations. I think that we could really make some really crazy shit happen over the next like 5 years. A lot of like big bands could like come back and like All American Rejects and do crazy collabs that people don't even expect or couldn't even think of.
Yeah, I agree with you, dude. It's gonna take people like you though. That's the cool part. Is this your like first full like album?
It's my debut album, Teenage Heartbreak.
That's great. Do you love the record?
I fucking love it. I love it front to back. It's a concept album, so that's why I like it so
Yeah.
much.
You know what my favorite part of making records used to be? Just listening, just finishing the album and then driving around and listening to it.
Front to back, loving. I love to listen to it like so much that before like it's even out, like I have it so well imprinted in my brain that like there's zero chance of me like forgetting it on stage.
And you're gonna go on tour?
Yeah, I'm gonna go on tour sometime, either like later this year or early next year. I haven't really like set it and confirmed it yet.
And how was the AP shoot?
The alternative press shoot is really cool. Yeah, it's a shitload of like really sick clothes, and then I brought a little bit of like a combination of like my jewelry, my shoes, and then it reminded me of that like '90s skater aesthetic that I really fuck with. Like the
Yeah.
more like plain, because I wear like a lot of like really crazy shit and a lot of accessories, but I also like to chill out and wear like little like band tees or like horror movie tees or like whatever, and they had like a lot of that kind of a thing, which I thought was cool.
When did things start to get like start to pop off and get a little crazy? And then like how long has it been now? Like has it been a year, two, 18 months? Like what would you say?
Well, I'd probably say like year and a half, because I had met with the first person in the music industry I met was at Interscope, and I was like the first music meeting that I did, and then I had never been in the studio in my life, never met anyone in the music industry, like did not know. I literally just went in there like almost like blind date style. My manager was just like, "I'm gonna bring you here, like you're gonna meet this person, and then you're gonna tell them your vision," and they just believed in it, and like was like, "Okay, I'll give you like this much time. Go in the studio, have some fun, report back to me," and so I did that, started making a bunch of music, and then they're like, "Holy shit! Like, I think you should keep going. I really want to make an album for this kid." And then like just like that, I was signed to Interscope. I had a concept album like that I was working on, and I like it was just going like just really just dove straight into it like head first. Wrote half the record in like a week and a half. America's Sweetheart, 21st, and Eulogy I wrote in consecutive 3 days. And then the single that was gonna be fourth, but is now the fifth single is Party Crasher. Um, and I wrote that like all in the same 4 days, like back to back, and we were just like going after it, like just knocking these songs out, like, and I'd been in the studio for like maybe 2 months.
That's kind of how it should be though, because when it's good, it just goes, right? I think you're gonna be around for a very long time.
You think?
Me and my brothers were saying that like every, you know, especially now it's crowded, but like still the same. You just see some people and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, they're gonna be around. You know, like you just have that feeling, you know, and you probably have that feeling about yourself. Um,
Uh,
you have to, right?
yeah, I mean, I definitely believe in myself. I don't know. I have such like a love and a passion for it, and I already like love to plan things down the line, and like I've been wanting like planning like doing music since I showed up to LA, and didn't know nobody, and I showed up to
Didn't
LA
know
2 years
anyone.
ago. Took me 2 years to meet one person.
So hard, isn't it? Sometimes
Yeah, I was like, do these people like hide? Like, where are they? Like, where'd they go?
weird. Yeah, it's like LA's weird because you there's like a surface level where you can do stuff and you can like go out and like you do meet people, but that's like the surface, the first layer you get to. And then when you get beneath that and you meet like the real people that are all like living and working and building lives here, like it starts to unfold and you start to really like have a life here where you're like you have people and resources around you and support and um I think it took me about 2 years from when I first moved here to like actually get to like meet real friends that I have now to this day still. What's the hardest part so far?
About
All of it, just
about
being
all
you.
of it, just being me. Um, well, one, I did social media before I jumped onto music, so kind of a lot of people just like look at me like, oh, okay, like he's cool, but if he really wants to stick around, he's got to really fucking prove himself, because we're gonna make it harder on him because he didn't start off as this day one musician.
I hear you, but I'm gonna save you like 10 to maybe 15 years of pain. You're you. You don't get to be anyone else. Doesn't matter where you started. You can't change it because that's who you had to make your way the way you made your way, right? I see you for real, for real. And so I think it's great because you did whatever you had to do to get somewhere and do what you want to do and live your life the way you want to live your life. And that's like
Mhm.
how everyone should live. And I think that like the sooner I accepted it and went, you know what? This is me. This is how I got here. This is what I had to do. And I can't apologize for that. And I can't try to change your mind either. So if that's how you feel, then I'm gonna keep it moving because I want to make records and I want to continue to live my life. You're always gonna deal with the fucking comments, man. Like that's just the nature of the
Yeah, of
world and
course.
people, right?
Yeah, people, I mean, people always like talk shit. I mean, I do a great job of like tuning it out, and I do a great job of like kind of just being like, all right, whatever, like I'm gonna go about my day. And like
Yeah.
most of the time, I'm just working anyway, so like people can't even catch me on the side of the street to like talk shit to me because I'm working so hard. I'm just like, I'm living my life. People can't really like shit on it too much just because all I'm doing
Hey, on that.
is just working and putting records out.
Thanks for the time.
Thank you, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.